I'm really excited for our Manganized episode today because we have featured some of the country's finest comic book artists. But today, the episode talaga intensifies my interest and love for comics and manga because we are going to feature a two-time Philippine Graphic Fiction awardee who was featured in the 2009 issue of DC Universe Holiday Special. Wow! Okay? Kaya naman, kilalanin na natin si Mr. Heubert Michael.
My passion for drawing was actually fueled by my dad. Kasi my dad is an artist. I grew up watching him draw. He paints, he does watercolors. Before I went to school, I would usually draw with my dad. Since I was also exposed to cartoons, yung Saturday morning cartoons like Super Friends before, dun ko nakilala yung mga superheroes. And instantly, I became in love with superheroes and comic books. I remember I was in grade 3 when I started making my own comic book at the back of the notebooks before na hindi ko na ginagamit. What inspired me to do my first comic book was when my mom bought me my first Superman comic. It was my first comic book na imported. I never knew na sina Superman, Batman pala. Before they became cartoons and movies, galing sila sa comics. For me, mga characters ko, ang pangalan Thunderman, ganun, may Man-Man din. In 2007, I remember I released my first indie comic book, yung Unstoppable. So I'm actually very proud of that. I guess it's one of the main reasons why I decided to pursue comic book talaga as a profession. Unstoppable is a superhero which is also meant to inspire people to do whatever they wanted to do and to pursue their dreams and become whoever they want to become. I was a guidance counselor before and I've always tried my best to inspire my students to pursue their dreams, to reach for their goals. Yung reception sa first work ko locally, my first indie book was very nice. Yung sa Unstoppable, I can say that it was highly acclaimed by fellow professionals and mga readers. So natuwa ako. I'm happy na yung local work ko, my first indie work was well received naman by critics and professionals and readers. But yung first international work ko, medyo hati. My work for DC, when I looked up online for reviews, merong pangit, may maganda. But I was okay with it. I told myself that I should be open-minded to critiques. I should learn from whatever people would say about my artworks. Nakita ko, ang dami kong weaknesses, tama yung mga nag-reviews online. Nakakatuwa nun kasi after my first work sa DC, siguro a few weeks after it got released, na-meet ko si Philip Tan, who was already working with DC by then. He took me under his wing, so he taught me a lot of things na hindi ko pa alam kasi I never had any formal training. After almost a year of training with him, nagkaroon ako ng exclusive contract na with this publisher called Dynamite. Nagkaroon ako ng project which is yung Vampirella. Nung lumabas siya nung October, ni-research ko agad yung reviews niya and I was so happy kasi it was my first work na full length. All 22 pages of it ako yung nag-drawing and it got 5 out of 5 reviews from critics. That doesn't mean that I should stop evolving. So I still need to learn a lot. But I'm happy kasi ngayon na-appreciate na nila. So I'm glad and I'm proud na malaki na itulong talaga ng mentor kong si Philip. Vampirella's my first big project so far kasi yun nga yung first full length and Vampirella's an icon din, especially in the States. She may not be as popular here in the Philippines like Wonder Woman or other female characters, but sa States kasi she's iconic. Ayun, sumisikat siya uli kasi diba, everyone's into vampires now. 2007 was a big year for me because 2007 was the year when I released the first issue of my indie book sa Comic-Con sa UP before. About 12 years ago, when Culture Crash was so very big and very influential locally, I tried to really incorporate manga influences sa artwork ko. Pero anatomically, when it comes to the way I drew bodies, medyo iba pa rin eh. Kasi heavily influenced talaga ako by Western comic books and Western artists. So hindi ko nakuha yung anatomy ng manga, yung medyo payat, tapos may mga exaggerated yung sizes na part ng katawan. But sa faces, medyo nakuha ko siya. And then, I realized na hindi ko talaga forte yung manga, so I shifted back to doing Western work. I won 3rd place dun sa 2nd Philippine Graphic Fiction Awards. That's when I thought maybe I should really pursue the arts and comics as a profession. I would resign from being a guidance counselor. 2008, I started drawing professionally. So nag-start ako mga small projects lang hanggang sa nakapasok sa mas malalaking publishers. The very first few artworks I posted online, nagkaroon ako ng isang follower. He introduced himself and he turned out to be a professional artist who's also working as an agent for different publishers abroad. So tinulungan niya ako. He was the first guy who gave me my first work sa DC Comics, yung DC Universe Holiday Special noong 2009. A lot of our local artists, no, yung mga Filipino, true-blooded Filipino artists working for the international market, we are a lot better than the foreigner artists. There's a certain flavor na wala sa ibang mga artists from other countries. So I guess this is one reason why nagiging favorite ng mga publishers ngayon yung mga Filipino artists. It was very nice to hear na people from different countries would approach you and tell you how talented you are. There's something that sets us apart from talents from other countries. Influences, I have a lot. It's impossible for an artist to do something professionally and get his own style. I was also into manga, especially sa mga action sequences. Basically, I grew up reading DC and Marvel comic books. When I get to know the works of the present day na Filipino comic book artists, sila yung mga naging influences ko ngayon. If I were a guidance counselor now, still, and you would ask me that, I would say comic book artist. Yun lang talaga yung gusto kong maging since I was in 3rd grade. That was the very first time I laid my eyes on the first Superman comic book that my mom gave me. Sabi ko, paglaki ko, gusto kong maging ganito. So I can't think of anything apart from being a comic book artist. Kung talagang hindi ako naging comic book artist, I might do something na medyo similar like storyboards since I also love movies. Of course, matagal na nilang naririnig yung practice. You would not really get to become better as an artist if you don't really practice. Apart from the inborn talent, you should back it up with enough skill, and you would only get those skills by practicing, doing research, and asking yung mga professionals. So wag silang mahihiya, mababait naman yung mga professionals eh. I would attend mga local conventions, mga seminars, and then talagang lalapitan ko yung mga artists, I would show them my work, and then magpapakritik ako. I try to be as open-minded as I can. If you want to draw comics, read comic books. You have to know first kung ano yung gusto mo. And kung ano yung gusto mong pasuking field, you have to do whatever you have to do, and you need to know whatever you have to know.
Thank you so much, Mr. Heubert Michael, and thank you. We see her every night sa Bandila. She is one of the most awarded and respected broadcast journalists of her generation. She has won numerous awards in her 16-year career. Kasama na dyan ang dalawa niyang awards from where else? New York and also the Beijing Festival. Also, she is included in the 2008-10 Outstanding Young Men Award for Broadcast Journalism. Wow, okay? And so today, babandila na si Miss Karen Davila dito sa Manganized.
Hero TV, I want to thank you so much. Alam mo it's the first time na talagang may nagpunta dito to show me an animation of myself. Pero itong gusto ko sabihin, mas payat ang babaeng ito at mas maganda. Pero thank you so much. I do hope that I do inspire you, that in any way that your creative juices start flowing. And I really wish you the best kasi alam mo sa Pilipinas, ang magagaling sa atin talaga ang mga artists in any way, shape, or form. So Hero TV, congratulations and thank you. I am Karen Davila, 100% Manganized.